What is up, everybody? How is it going today? I'm your host with the most, SarahTube, and welcome back to another episode of flipping 10 to 100 mil. We currently are working with a 20,851,692 GP cash stack. Cannot wait to try to grow this to 22 mil this episode. That is my goal. I think we're going to be able to crush that goal, but of course you're going to have to stick around and see if we do. Be sure to drop a like on this video if you do enjoy it, and be sure to check out the rest of the episodes in this series. This is episode 10, so there is 9 more episodes that are already out for you to enjoy if you haven't seen them already. Enough chit chat, let's get into the flips. Starting with the safe stuff here today, and also I'm trying the Amulets of Fury. I know I try this every freaking episode, and sometimes we can't get them to flip, but today they're going for a 20k margin, and I really think that's worth capitalizing on, so we're trying to flip those right now. Also, these Zulrah scales are holding a great margin right now, currently buying for 208 and selling for 211, so I'm really hoping we can hit that. There's been a lot of upward force on these Zulrah scales recently, since they bottomed out at about 190 each these past couple of weeks. And we finished selling the Amulets of Fury for a 120k profit. Really solid flip on that. Let's keep it up now that we have 14 mil to play with. By the way, guys, be sure to drop what items you want me to actually go ahead and flip in this series in the comment section below. I'm always looking for new items to try out and to flip for you guys just to see how they perform. And I want to make sure we're covering every basis here on the series. So again, be sure to leave some recommendations for what to flip in the comment section below. Also, quick note on the Sharks there. I know I was talking over that clip, but a 10 GP margin on Sharks. Wow, I'm not sure if that's going to hit, to be honest, but Sharks are so cheap right now. Really interesting to see when they're actually going to rebound off their bottom price. If the Sharks are looking good, we might as well check out the Mana Rays as well and see if we can get a good margin on those. And it looks like they're not actually going to be the margin I thought we would get, but I am going to flip about 3,000 of them just for the YOLO. Here is a new flip for the series, the White Berries, currently holding a 10 GP margin. Let's see if we can get lucky on a few of those. Now, all of our offers have sold, no complaints on that. Let's go ahead, collect it, and keep on flipping. So one thing that I noticed on my main account is that the Brimstone rings are trading for a super low price right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do a margin check. Yes, this is a little bit of a risky flip in its current state, just because it is going to take a lot of our capital, but at the same exact time, these Brimstone rings are dirt cheap compared to their normal price. I flipped these on my main a lot, so I'm pretty confident that these are at not an all-time low, but at least a low on the month. So I'm going to try to deploy a lot of capital towards it. We'll flip 2 at a time and see how much money we can actually make off these. With the Brimstone rings being so cheap, I do see a lot of upside potential on them, and the margin on them is quite good right now as well, getting about 40k for every Brimstone ring that we're able to flip. Here are the flips we have set right now. Going in, trying to flip these Brimstone rings, and then I put a bunch of pretty safe, easy to flip offers in. Besides that, we're getting 3 GP on the Cooked Karambwans, 2 GP on the Adamant Darts, 2 GP on the Nature Runes, and hopefully 5 GP on these Blood Runes, but I'm not sure if that's going to hold. Every time Blood Runes get up to about 400 GP each, they tend to come down a little bit, so we'll see if we have any success on that, but I'll keep you updated. Solid profit on all of our items here. The only item that I think we didn't get the full margin on was the Blood Runes, which we had to sell for 399 each, so really not too bad overall. We're gonna go collect that and relist. All of our flips have sold. We had a really solid profit on the Sharks. We made about 70k on those, so you really can't be too upset about that. On top of that, we did get a 4 GP margin on the Death Runes, although we did not hit the 4-hour limit for those, which is a little bit unfortunate, but hey, for a free-to-play item that gave a 4 GP margin, that is actually pretty good. We're going to go ahead and move into some overnight listings, see how we do overnight, and hopefully wake up to some great profits. Here we go. The overnights are set. Guys, the strategy behind setting these overnights is really simple. All I do is I do an in-game margin check, and then after I do that, I just list it for about 10 to 20 GP under its current buying and selling price. If I put in a little bit more effort and checked out GE Tracker, then I might be able to get some better deals, but since this is such a quick way to set my flips, I'm just going to do it this way for the video. Anyway, all of these items are high volume items, sort of besides the Brimstone Ring, which I would say is a medium volume item, but I have a feeling we're going to be able to pick up a cheap one overnight. Besides that, everything else is set, squared away, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. It is the next day. Looks like the Amethyst Crystal, the Brimstone Ring, and the Mana Rays have bought. I actually did expect the Dragon Javelins to come in as well, but it looks like that is not the case. Let's go ahead and sell everything and just collect our profit. Everything is looking okay so far, I've got to be honest. We did lose some money on the Mana Rays. It actually ended up being a 22k loss. We bought them all for 1,150 and we sold them all for 1,145. So we did lose a little bit of GP on that. But luckily, we did make it up with the Brimstone Ring flip, which brought us in 89k. Very solid flip. We bought that last night for 3,550,005 coins. So that was a really solid flip on that one. I actually knew that that would probably go back up in price because that thing was just trading for so cheap. Anyway, we are still waiting on the Amethyst Crystal. This was advertising a 990 sell point, which is going to make us a lot of bank as long as it does sell. In the meantime, I might list some other flips and just make a little bit of money on the side while we wait. Some really interesting activity here. Yesterday, we were trading the Blood Runes for, I think it was about 395 GP. It's not in my history, but they're already down to 360 GP today. That is absolutely wild in my opinion. A 30 GP loss on a very high volume overnight, that's a little bit odd. I was just going to set a few overnight flips, but then I started flipping and now we're in a flipping session. So I did finish off the Amethyst Crystals from last night. Most of them sold for 978, but I did have to sell the rest for 976. We still made a ton of bank on that. Actually, I think we ended up making about 188k total on all of the Amethyst Crystals. So we really did a solid job there. But the only problem with last night's session is we had two really good flips, but we also had a loss. So that cut into our total profits there. Regardless, we're still doing very well today. I'm going to make up some quick profits here at the end. Then I'll go set my overnight flips. That is going to be it for the active flips. Let's go ahead and set some overnight flips. We added about another 200k to the stack right in that past couple of minutes. We have our overnight flips set. Now, the Brine Sabers and the Brimstone Rings are super cheap right now, and even the Granite Boots are, so I'm hoping to pick up a few cheap pairs of those items overnight. On top of that, we've got the Adamant Darts going. You guys know I love flipping that item, and they're trading for 86 GP right now. Yesterday, we traded them for 94 GP each, so it looks like we're going through a little bit of a market downturn right now across a lot of items. Besides that, we're going back in on the Amethyst Crystal. The Dragon Arrows we're going to try instead of the Javelins tonight, and the Armadyl Cloaks are kind of just a fun YOLO that I'm putting in there just to see if it actually works. On top of that, got the Teleport to Houses as well. I'm trying to get those for 15 GP under their current margin, which I think is about reasonable for the fluctuation of the house teleports. Anyway, as always, I'll keep you guys updated, and hopefully we make some bank tonight. And we are back. Looks like we had some good success overnight. Well, maybe not exactly success yet until we actually sell them and see the margin on them. But we did have a lot of our offers buy up. We didn't get any of the Armadyl Cloaks, Brimstone Rings, or Granite Boots though, which I was kind of hoping to get at least one Granite Boot since I tried flipping them earlier in this episode and we didn't really get any of them. So maybe we'll just avoid them as an item going forward, but I'm going to go ahead and turn everything around and see our profits. Look at that. Everything sold. The only item we did not get the intended margin on was the dragon arrows, which we still ended up getting 4 GP for, which is pretty good if you ask me. Anyway, we're gonna collect it, and I think we honestly made a good amount of money last night. I'll go ahead and check everything and let you guys know, and I'll give you the calculations here in a second. Guys, I am happy to report that last night we made a total of 369k on all of our overnight flips, which is absolutely nuts. Some of our best flips from the night were the Brine Sabers, which made us 160k, and the Teleport to Houses, which made us 110k. So both of those performed outstandingly well, and I'm really happy with last night's profits. That is a wrap for this episode. We're ending it with 22,103,143 coins. Really solid performance today. We made about 1.25 mil on this episode, so I'm super happy that we were able to do that. Look forward to this series. It's one of my favorite that I've done so far on the channel, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. Be sure to drop a like if you are, subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.